Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. This is Kathy coming to you on day 97 of 365 hashtag reflections. And today's proverb is Proverb 7. So let's get started with a question. Let's check in on you. How are you doing tonight? How are you doing? How are you doing? Gonna make this quick tonight because I want to get in bed sooner tonight. I have a really early morning and I start my days out with communion at 3 a.m., which is the perfect time because I think getting up in the morning, seeking the Lord first is something that puts you right on target for setting your day up for success. And if you want to set your day up for success, get up early. There's a saying, early to bed, early to rise, right? I think early to bed, early to rise makes a man or woman healthy, wealthy, and wise. So if you want to be healthy, wealthy, and wise, then get up. Now, I can say that this is not something that I take lightly because I don't really like my sleep interrupted, but I will interrupt my sleep for the right thing, and that is the right thing. So I did that today. Now, reflections on today. I actually, let's see, what do I want to share with you? Um, what happened today? Wow, there are so many great things today. I'm trying to solidify one in particular. But I start my day with communion and I ended my day with daily bread Bible reading tonight. And we were in the book of Ezekiel. And it's interesting because I was just doing this in Trucking God's Way about Ezekiel. I was doing these dry bones. So there's a theme that I think the Lord has taken me on, and maybe you're on that theme too, or that encounter as well, where there's parts of us and parts of others that are not alive, right? And being alive means you're active and you're moving and you're growing and you're producing, you're doing something, right? But if you're dead, that means you're stagnant, right? You're not going anywhere. And I've had people ask me this question, when are you going to retire? Now, when I think of retirement, I think of death. I do. I think retired, when people, especially people that are active, that like doing and love doing what they do, when they retire, it's lights out. My father, who passed away at age 77, retired in his early 70s. And right after he retired, he started to have health issues. And he realized with his health issues, he needed to get moving because he would just sit on the couch, watch TV. So once he started having those health issues, he got up and he started moving, and he lived approximately 5 years after he had a pacemaker put in. And it's interesting because when they put the pacemaker in, the doctor told him that he would have 5 years on that pacemaker. Now, my father was a very prompt man, so he was early for everything that he went to. And literally, he passed away on the anniversary of the installation of that pacemaker. Now, that really makes me sick because there's so much faith and trust in physicians, my opinion, that it is killing us. And I believe he would have lived a lot longer had he had a mindset about life and living fully, right? And not being limited by what the doctors say. So I didn't even know I was going to say that. But anyway, that's what's coming up for me today. That's my reflection for today. I call myself going to be short. I'm just going to be short. Get this, get this in the books, so to speak. But the Lord knows I needed to get that out, right? This is my therapy session. So for whoever's listening, it's a little therapy for me tonight. So here we go. Proverbs today, Proverbs 7 is talking about the promiscuous, wayward, adulterous woman again. Soon we'll get off of her, but we are still literally soon we'll get off of that subject. But yeah, in this one, it's talking about how she made her bed up and all this other kind of stuff. And it's just, being lured into a trap. Have you ever been in that, not being promiscuous per se, but I think it's also indicative of being seduced, right? You can be seduced, whether it's sexually, you can be seduced immorally. I mean, seduced to do something that you know you shouldn't do. You can be seduced, right? And so I think even though it talks about the sexual impropriety, I think that it's a foreshadowing of any seduction, anything that would lure you to do something that is wrong. Just like in Adam and Eve, right? Just like Eve took the forbidden fruit because she was tempted and she saw that it was good to eat. And she gave it to her husband, Adam. She gave it to him and he chose to eat it, knowing where it came from. So, who's wrong here? Both of them. Who suffers? Both of them. When you're lured, who suffers? Both of you. The person that's lured and the person that's doing the luring. Oh well, Lord, I don't know why I'm on the soapbox. Well, I want to get off. Okay, so I'm going to get off. That's my share for tonight. That's my reflection. That's Proverbs. That's my day. Today was a good day. And I'll end it by singing my favorite song by Carol Burnett. I will say this. There's a lot of scams out there, and I thought I was talking to someone on Carol Burnett's um, what do you call her social media person. But then they started asking me some weird questions, and I said, this isn't what I thought it was. So I haven't responded back since then. I was pretty disappointed because I do like Carol Burnett. And I know she's still living, and I know she's older, so she's probably not on social media. And she probably doesn't have a social media campaign manager. It's probably someone out there just trying to lure people into something to where they could spend money and be scammed. So watch out. I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh or sing a song. It seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes a time we have to say so long. Good night, everyone. Remember to like, subscribe, and share.